Hello, Ben Sasse here, and I regret to not be able to be with you in person today, but I'm glad that I can pay tribute and just thank a man who has worked so hard to make not just our country, but this world a freer, better place. Carl Gershman. Carl has long been a founding father of all sorts of U.S. efforts to foster democratic and Republican institutions abroad. When Reagan famously called for implementing an infrastructure of democracy in his Westminster address, Carl was there. Carl answered the call. Since the creation of the National Endowment for Democracy, NED, Carl has been the fearless leader of the foundation. Under his leadership, NED has leapt from a modest grant-making foundation to a powerful force for democratic change across the world. The NED family is now arguably the clearest link between the American people's commitment to freedom and human dignity as foundational principles of governance and to those that are fighting for that same commitment abroad. In spite of the strides the endowment has made, though, we know there's still much more to be done. As the global democratic depression deepens, the struggle for the preservation and promotion of liberty is getting harder. The stakes are getting higher. The genocide of the Uyghurs and the overnight destruction of the rule of law in Hong Kong by the Chinese Communist Party, together they affirm us in our stance. It should be noted that the CCP has sanctioned Carl for his support to Hong Kong. Congratulations, Carl. And they've sanctioned him for his support for the Uyghurs. Again, kudos. And you're seeing something right when an oppressive regime sanctions a man like Carl. Carl, thank you for bravely being a voice of freedom for those who can't speak for themselves. We know that freedom is not inevitable. It's something that must be fought for and then protected. We also know that there are undeniable connections between the advancement of freedom and basic human flourishing. Freedom transcends nations and cultures. It is a legitimate aspiration for the human condition, one that is not equally enjoyed around the world. The endowment has always recognized this aspiration and desire among humanity, and it has sought to align the American people with those who are struggling for those freedoms. The preservation and promotion of liberty is a constant struggle, and it is a struggle that the endowment took on under Carl's leadership and will continue long after his retirement, which is truly a mark of his transformational leadership. Reagan once said, "Democracy is not a fragile flower, but still it needs cultivating." We need gardeners. Carl's been a gardener. He's been a leader of gardeners for nearly 4 decades. We need men and women who will continue to take a stand for freedom and continue in the hard work of tending to that infrastructure of democracy. Carl can retire knowing that he helped implement President Reagan's vision at Westminster. For his work in promoting democracy both here and abroad, we are indebted. Carl, thank you for all that you've done in this fight for freedom. Our world is a better place because of your work these past 37 years. Best wishes, man.